Hi, welcome to online live tutorial series from JCBRO. So in this in today's live session, we are going to talk about like files, input, output, and how to read like these CSV files within the Python or within the Python built-in functions. Further, we also provide online training, help in technical assignments. We also do freelance projects based on data science, Python, machine learning, embedded system, etc. So if you have any such requirement, then you can contact us through our website, which is www.jcbrolabs.org, or you can also mail us at info@jcbrolabs.org. So if you have joined our live session and if you are watching it, then you can let us know by commenting in the live chat session so that we can understand whoever has joined to us, and then if there is any doubt related to a live session or whatever we are teaching during this session, you can let us know by commenting below this video after the live session, or you can type in the chat session as well. Okay, so let's welcome all. Okay, so you can let us know from where you are watching this live session. Okay, so let's start for today's session. So today we will be, as we mentioned earlier, today we are going to talk about like how the files input output take place in Python. In our earlier classes, we have taught like how to take the input from the user, and then how to convert that particular input, received input from the user to the string or to float variable to integer value, and then how to write the program based on that, right? So in this session, it is like how to create whatever data we have generated within this Python environment. Then how can we write that particular data or the entire data in a form of a file, so that if we are moving from some place to another, or we want to send that data to someone else, so that we can send it. Okay, so one of the very basic is like to store the data in a form of a text file, and then sending that particular text file to some other user. Okay, so now without wasting time, let's start writing. Okay, let's first clear all the variables which we have created, and let's start a new console. Okay, so if there is a file, let's say okay, right now our current working folder is the live session Python, which we generally use. So there is a open command in Python. Okay, so yeah, there's temp file only. Okay, so there's an open command in file through which we can open any file either in read mode or write mode or in the append mode as well. So it can be opened in different mode: read, write, append, read binary, write binary, append binary. So there are several modes. So here we will be talking about basically read mode, write mode, and then append mode. Okay, so as the read mode suggests, like if we are trying to read any existing file, then that file has to be opened in a read mode. And if we are trying to create some new file, then we have to open it in a write mode, right? So let's do that. So f equals to open, let's file, so JCBRO live. Now if we don't put any put any extension to it, so it will create a file without any extension, and then we open the file in write mode. Okay, so this JCBRO level, right now this file is not available in the current folder. So as soon as I open it, it creates a file pointer, it returns a file pointer, and as soon as we close it, whatever data we have written into it, that will be saved in the file. Let's press enter. So you see file JCBRO live files have been opened. Now let's generate some data. Okay, so I am writing A as, let's say, hello, this is JCBRO. Okay, now if we want to write, then f dot write and then A. Okay, so it returns how many characters have been written. Now we have to close this file. So after closing this file, all the data will saved in the file. So as soon as I close it, yeah, so this file has been closed. So if I double click on this file JCBRO live, let's say double click on it here, and the file has opened. So whatever we have written, that comes here, hello JCBRO. Okay, so let's again open this file. So f dot open, yeah, we have opened in write mode, and let's say now I write something else. F dot write, I live in India. Okay, and let's see what happened. So I press enter. It has written it there, but it is not updated here. So we have to close it. F dot close. Yeah. So if I further double click on it, it will update it. So the content was updated. So now you say the earlier whatever we have written earlier, that particular text has been overwritten by the new text. So remember, whenever we are writing this write command, overwrite the earlier file. That means it clears the entire file and write the new content. So obviously in many applications this particular property will not be required. We may be needing, like if there is some existing data is there already, so we want to add into that particular data. We don't want to overwrite the entire data, right? So what we will do then, okay, so we will instead we will so there is another mode, as I mentioned, that is the append mode, right? So let's open the file in append mode this time. So f dot open, so let's say f equals to open the same file name jcbro underscore live, and this right now we are going to open it in append mode. So now write something, f dot write, this is from JCBRO, and then let's say f dot close. Okay, so now we have to double click there. Here you see earlier there was a data I live in India. Now there's a new data this is from JCBRO. So we have written the new string into it. So that particular string has been appended to the end of the earlier string. So remember, in file, when we are writing in a file, only strings can be written in the files only, right? So let's say we want to add some text, or want to add some integer value or some other different kind of values. Those values will not be able to written directly. We have to convert them into a string, only then we can write. Now think about it. Now we have written f dot write, it has added in the same line. So let's say if we want to add in the next line, then obviously we have to add that next line character into it. So let's say let's open again in the append mode, and this time I will write uh, this is live session, and then I will add backslash n, and then this is Sachin, and then end, and then f dot close. Okay, so if I double click on it, you will see earlier the next, this is Sachin because I have added the next line character in between, so that has come at the next line. So this is how we can create this, we can add these different values here. So till now we have learned like how to write these different kind of strings into it. Now let's create a script and try to write some integer value into it, right? So let's say your application could be you are reading some real-time sensor data and then want to store on some text file, right? And then from that text file you want to send it to someone. So that's what we will try to do. Okay, so let's make a comment. So here it is. This file write numerical value into, I should write this program. Okay. So let's see who have joined us. Okay, so if any one of you have any doubt, then you can uh, let me know, and I will try to answer that particular question or query. Okay, there are no questions. Now let's create a file. So let's say f equals to open, and we open a file with the name of uh, let's say some numeric data or data.txt, and we open it in append mode. Okay, and then we will be generating some values. So let's say we take some values of a is an string then, right? So let's say 1 10 13 points 4 10 and point. Okay, so these are some of the values. Now we want to write all these values into a file. So we'll write like for I in a, then we will write f dot write, right? We will be writing the string of a of I, not a of I. Okay, it should be, because if we write like I in a, then I will iterate over the elements of the a, as we have seen in the loops classes when we discuss the loops. So we will type like I in range length of a. So now length of a, this function will give the length of this entire string, and then we will iterate it over the entire range from 0 to this range. Okay, and then we will writing it within the string. We are writing within the file this string, and because we want to enter the number of it, so we have to access the numbers. So that will be a of I. Now we want to add the next line character as well. So each time we are writing to it, we will be adding a next line character. So the entire string which we will be writing, so we will add this next line character as well. So this a value has been converted into string, and then we are adding a next line character into the string as well. Okay, so that's it, and let's save it and let's run. Okay, so it has run without any error. Oops, this file has saved somewhere else, so let me save it again. So save as, I am saving in the same folder. Okay, so I run it again here. So we are now again in the same folder. So data.txt file has been created. So if you go okay, now if you go double click on this text file, you can open it with the notepad as well. So now you see no data is coming up, because I think we forget to close the file. Yeah, we have not closed the file yet. So we will close the file again. So f dot close. Okay, So we will open it, we will run it again. Okay, now if we double click on, you see it has written the 2 times. Okay, because we run the file for 2 times. If we run it again, it will, because we are opening the file in append mode, so each time we run it, it will append the previous data to the existing data. Okay, so now we don't want to do that. So what we'll do, we will open the file first in the write mode and then we will close it. So that is a little trick to uh, empty the data if we want to do that. So f dot close, and then let's run it, and if we double click it, now you will see it will not append the entire data. So what is happening here, we are first opening the file in write mode and then we close. So as soon as it open the file, because it overwrites the existing data, right? So that did, as soon as we close it, it overwrites the entire data and empty the file. And then we are opening the same file in the append mode so that everything is appended or stored in the data then. Okay, so this was about like how to write some data or different kind of float data or string data or any numeric values into it. And this particular example can be can be used for writing some sensor data directly into some text file, so that you can use that particular data for some other application. Now we will say like how to read the file, how to read the data from a file, right? So let's create a new file and then we will say this program read the data from the file. Okay, so we'll save it, test read file. Okay, prior to do that, let's test it here. Okay, so there's a text and data.txt so file which we just created, and we open it here now. So let's say again we will open it, open data.txt in the read mode. Okay, so has no okay, f dot the command was wrong. So f equals to open data.txt in read mode. F has opened. Now if we want to read the entire data, we just have to type f dot read. Okay, the entire data has been written. Now if you look at it, like it has read the entire thing, like back slash and all those characters have been read here. That's what we were writing in this case as well. Okay, so it reads the entire data, and from that entire data you can do your own manipulation. For example, if I type like a equals to f dot read, then it read the entire value in a string. Okay, now that's important. If we run this fread command again, it doesn't read anything. The reason is when we read from the file, there is a pointer associated with the reading operator. So we can say that a read pointer. So that read pointer keeps on incrementing. So if we have read the entire file, so the content of that read pointer is the end of the file, right? So if we try to read the data again, it will not read anything, because the reading it says like we have already read the entire file, right? So in order to avoid that, there is a command here that is known as f.seek. So it allow the user to change the reading pointer value, right? Reading position you can say, or whatever you want to say. So let's say I want to reset it to 0, 0, so that will be the starting of the file. Location will be the starting of the file. If okay, and now if I read it again, f dot read, you will see now there is a entire thing, complete string in it, right? But it is an complete string, right? So now what we want to do, we want to extract all these components. So what we'll do, we will split this entire string to different format and store into a different variable. So we can use s dot split, and the split section could be the new line character. So if we look at the b, Now all the things have been stored in a B, but B is a list. Now the type of the B is list, but the content of the B is in a form of a string. If we type the content, first content of it, that will is a string. Now we want to convert this string into a numeric value, so we will write like, yeah, so we can store the entire thing into again, so we can iterate it over loop. So for I in B, then and then we can store C dot append, or you can say like B of 0 int of I. Okay, so the last value will be different because the floating point number cannot be converted into any string. So because it is a combination of float and strings, all those things. Okay, so this is how we can read the data. There are several other commands as well within this read through which we can read number of lines, number of data. So let's say for say we change it again, position of the reading file to 00, and then if I type f.read of 10, so it will read the 10 bytes of the data. Only 10 bytes have been read, right? And then if we see like f.tell, so it tells the position of it. Okay, so current position of the reading pointer is 12. Okay, so let's clear it. Similarly there is a command f.readLine. Okay, so let's change the entire thing to 0, 0 again. So f.seek is 0. Now if we have this f.readLine command, it read a single line, right? If press enter, okay, spelling is wrong, function value is wrong, so that is, let's say a equals to f.read line. Yeah, if we type a, it has read the only one line from that file, right? Now there's another command, so f.seek 0, 0 f read lines. If we want to read all the lines available in the entire file, so that will read all the lines and will store into a. So now a will be in the read lines. Now the beauty of this is like it read all the lines and store at a separate indexes. So it return a list of all the lines of that particular file. If we double click in a, then you will find it is a list. At 0, first line is there, at index 1, second line, at index 2, third line, and so on. Okay, so but it read all the lines. Now again, if we plot it, if we write this command again, because f.seek has the reading pointer has increased to the end of line, it will not read anything. Okay, so that is how we can read all the data. And yes, so if we want to read one line, we can do that. If we want to read all the lines, we can also do that. So there is also some option. Let's say f.seek f.seek 0, 0. So it could be like length of a, it is total 6, right? So it may possible that we can we can read the lesser number of lines only. Okay, so we can first check everything, and out of this entire list a, we can read whatever lines we want to read. All right, now let's read some CSV file, because CSV file is one of the common most file which is generally produced by some sensor data, because all the sensor values are stored as a comma separated. Okay, so we have here a CSV file node underscore mac. It contains different columns. If you can open it with the Excel as well. So if we want to read it, the simple command is f.open node underscore mac underscore node id dot csv and open it in the read mode. File is opened, right? And if we want to read all the data, then let's say f dot read lines. So we are reading all the lines from that data. Now if I print a, you will see all the lines are there. Now if we double click on it, you will see, because all these lines have been added as a separate string. Okay, so there are total 14 lines, so 0 to 13. So it has created a string, right? Now if we want to read any specific line, so if we go to 0, it will read the first line. Of 1, it will read the second line. Of 2, it will read the third line. Now let's say we want to separate it out, the entire string. So let's say we can type a dot, we can split this entire string by a separator of comma. So another b has been created with a list. Okay, so first is serial number, then description, then math, right? So if we type print b, you will see, right? So this new line character also read as a string as well. Now so you can also split the first line. So the idea is you can use this different combination of different commands to read the data directly from a sensor or from any file which have been produced by some sensor in Python, and then you can write your very nice program to read or write all the data into either CSV file or into normal text file, or and you can also read the data back from it. That only is a combination of different command, and we will be coming to that, in which we will be showing you some live example of doing that as well. So I hope that is for today. And if you have any doubts, so prior to closing the session, if any one of you have any doubt, then you can let me know, and I will try to answer that particular question, and we will done. Okay, so it seems like no one has any question, so we are done for today. So we will be coming again with some new topic on this Python tutorials live session. Till then, bye. Thank you for joining this live session. Bye.